Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Puppet. Now, I probably look really bummy, and the reason is I just woke up and I have to leave for work in about 30 minutes, so I have to try and record this as fast as I can. So I'm going to be talking about some books that I've acquired over the last 2 months. And so let's just jump right into it. So the first book is Kristin Hannah's The Four Winds. This takes place during the Great Depression, you know, when there's a drought in Texas and there's this lady who has to make a decision to fight for her land or leave for California, something like that. But it sounds very interesting. I heard really good reviews about this, so I went ahead and I bought it. Next book is The Woman in Our House by Andrew Hart. This book is about a family in a house, and the parents decide to hire a nanny, but the children start turning up with weird bruises, I think it's bruises, or injuries, weird injuries and illnesses, and they think, what is this nanny doing? Who really is she? Is she doing something to our children? So this is what it's about, you know, kind of like a creepy nanny, I guess. It sounds interesting, so I got this book. Next book I got was, actually, I have this book, but in English. But I got La Malicion Del Mar. So in English, this one is The Wicked Deep, and I really enjoyed that book. So I decided to get it in the Spanish form. And I do plan on reading this because I've been meaning to reread The Wicked Deep, but I found it in Spanish at Barnes & Noble, and I was like, do I really need this? No, I don't. But I got it anyway, so here we go. Next book is The Children of Red Peak by Craig DeLuise. I'm so sorry if I butcher names. I should probably do my research before I make a video. But I'm sorry I'm butchering names. Anyway, this is about 5 children, I believe, who were part of a cult. You know, their parents were in this family. It was a religious one. And, you know, it's all about God. But somehow it turns into a cult. And they were part of it. And then one night, everybody disappears. Like, some people say they died. Some, they just said they disappeared. They don't know. But years later, I believe, years later, they're grown up now and they decide to reunite and go back to Red Peak to find out what really happened in the cult, you know, what happened that night, because their parents are like gone, they're missing, and so that sounds really interesting. So I went ahead and bought this book. Can you see it? I feel like the glare from the window is blocked. Next book is Final Girls by Riley Sager. So there's this girl who went on a vacation with some of her friends, and for some reason she's the only one who comes back, and she has no idea or no clue what happened that night. And now she has to find out what happened or something. So that's something interesting. Also, because I read Lock Every Door, and that was a really good book. So I'm definitely going to be reading a lot more of this author, because I got Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. Now, if you can see, I already read this one. It was, out of all these books, this was the first one I read, and I will talk about this later, maybe. But as you can see, I annotated it, and basically it's about this girl who lived at a haunted house, and her father wrote a book about the haunted house, and she doesn't remember her time there at the house, but now her father dies, and so she inherits the haunted house. So she goes to this haunted house, and she's gonna find out, is this house haunted? What is up? Because stuff in the book that was mentioned from her father's book is happening. So we'll have to see. Next one is A Little Something Different. Romance stories are actually not my cup of tea, but I told my friend I was trying to get into something different besides thrillers and suspense, because that's the majority of what I read. So she told me to get this one. Oh, it's by Sandy Hall, and it's about a girl and a boy who like each other or something. And you know, instead of seeing from their point of view about them being in building this relationship, we see it from different point of views, like whether we see it from one of their friends or maybe on a bench. The bench is gonna tell us their interactions. So I thought it sounded cute, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it a read. She says it's a light read and it's really cute romance short story, so I'm gonna go ahead and give that a try. Also, while I bought this book, I was thinking I should do this challenge where I go to the romance paperback section and I pick a random book and just buy it. Don't know what it's about, just buy it and just read it. But I cheated on this one because I went to the paperback section, I saw the cover of this romance book, and then I read the back and it sounded interesting, so I bought it. And you know, maybe I don't know if I want to make this a thing where maybe once in a while I just buy a romance paperback and just read it and review it. But I bought this one. It's called Black Ice by Ann Stewart. Apparently it's about a girl who she gets hired by some people to be a translator, and these people are businessmen and women, but apparently they're not. They're like arm dealers or something, and so they're gonna have to try and kill her. But this guy saves her. Okay, he saves her and he takes her away, and you know, they're hiding together and this romance is supposed to blossom. You guys know how some of these adult romance books are, so that's what my challenge is to maybe just read a book like this, and we'll see how it goes. It's very outside of my comfort zone, not my cup of tea, but I'm gonna try it. Maybe I'll call it the paperback romance challenge. We'll see. But I'm definitely gonna give this a try, but I don't know if I want to make it into a thing where I do it every once in a while. So next one is The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. I was recommended this book a long time ago by a lawyer. She asked me if I like to read, and I said yes because I don't remember how the topic came up, but I said yes, and she said, oh, you should read The House on Mango Street, and I never read it. So years later, I found it for like $3, so I bought it, and I was reading it a little bit, but I have not gotten into it completely. I read like 3 chapters and they're super short. They're like 1 page, 2 pages long. So we'll have to see about that. The last book is Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. I don't really know much about this book besides I keep hearing that it's a super good book, but I do know something about I can't talk. Something about some sisters, and one of them goes missing, and I guess there's a murder, and they're trying to figure out what happened, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. I could just read the back of the book, but I'm in a time crunch right now, so I'm gonna have to like go. And yeah, I found it interesting. I heard that it's kind of like rated R, brutal. So I like those type of stories. So we'll have to go ahead and see. Thank you guys so much for watching. That is gonna be it for this video. I'm gonna try and upload more, but I did get a full-time job and I have school, so right now I'm in a time crunch, and the only time I get to read right now is on my lunch break at work. But I will try my best, and I think I'm going to be starting I think I'm gonna be starting with this book. So if you guys read any of these books, please let me know what your thoughts about it were. If you guys have any secrets to tell. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I will see you guys maybe soon.